This tribute honors legendary wrestlers we've lost, celebrating their unforgettable impact on wrestling. Their passion and dedication continue to inspire fans worldwide. We also bring you emotional updates on Stone Cold Steve Austin, whose recent news has deeply resonated with many. Join us as we reflect on their remarkable legacies, cherish their memories, and honor their contributions. Subscribe now to keep their stories alive and ensure their influence is never forgotten. Ashley Massaro, born on May 26, 1979, in East Meadow, New York, was a multifaceted individual whose career spanned wrestling, modeling, and television. She is best known for her time in World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, where she became an iconic figure within the women's division. Massaro's journey into the public eye began long before wrestling, as she gained early recognition as a model, gracing the covers of various magazines and establishing a strong presence in the fashion world. Her foray into professional wrestling was a transformative moment. In 2004, Massaro competed in WWE's Diva Search, a highly publicized competition designed to discover fresh female talent. With her magnetic personality, stunning looks, and undeniable charisma, Massaro emerged as the winner, earning a coveted WWE contract. Her debut in 2005 marked the beginning of a career that saw her become a fan favorite for her infectious energy and athleticism, contributing significantly to WWE's expanding women's division. She was involved in notable storylines and rivalries, including key appearances in the pursuit of the WWE Women's Championship. Beyond the ring, Massaro appeared in various WWE promotional segments and media ventures, becoming a recognizable figure on television. Her connection with fans was powerful, and she was beloved by many for her relatability and charm. However, after departing WWE in 2008, Massaro's life took a tragic turn. She pursued a career in modeling and acting, but also struggled with personal challenges and health issues, including mental health difficulties linked to her wrestling career. Her was ruled as an accidental overdose, a devastating loss to her family, friends, and the wrestling community. Ashley Massaro's legacy remains significant, not just for her contributions to the WWE, but for the lasting impact she had on those who admired her spirit and resilience. Chris Markoff, a respected figure in professional wrestling during the 1960s and 1970s. Known for his tough, villainous persona, Markoff gained notoriety for his ability to generate strong reactions from the crowd, particularly as a foreign heel, a common character archetype of that era. His in-ring style was marked by hard-hitting and intense matches, which helped to establish him as a formidable competitor and earned him respect from both fans and fellow wrestlers. Markoff's wrestling career spanned several North American territories, with notable stints in the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and various regional promotions. In an era when wrestling was still largely territorial, Markoff's contributions were vital to the growth of the sport. He played a crucial role in shaping the wrestling landscape, particularly through his consistent performances and his ability to engage audiences. While he did not achieve the same mainstream fame as some of his contemporaries, Markoff's reputation as a reliable and talented wrestler was solidified over the years. His commitment to his craft and his ability to draw heat from the audience made him a valuable asset to the promotions he worked for. Throughout his career, Markoff's contributions helped to build the foundation for the professional wrestling industry that would later see the rise of global promotions. Despite not being a household name, his legacy endures, especially among those who remember the regional wrestling territories of the 1960s and 1970s. Chris Markoff, due to natural causes related to old age. His marked the end of an era in professional wrestling, but his impact on the industry, particularly through his contributions to regional wrestling, will continue to be remembered by fans and historians alike. Ernie Ladd, born on November the 28th, 1938 in Louisiana, was a towering figure in both professional wrestling and American football. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 9 inches, Ladd's physical presence was matched only by his larger-than-life personality, earning him the moniker the Big Cat. His charisma, combined with his athletic prowess, made him a beloved figure in both arenas. Ladd's journey to greatness began at Grambling State University, where he showcased his football talent and earned recognition as a defensive lineman. His collegiate success propelled him into the American Football League, AFL, where he played for the San Diego Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs in the 1960s. Ladd was known for his formidable strength and skill on the field, which made him a standout player and laid the groundwork for his future success in professional wrestling. Transitioning to wrestling in the late 1960s, Ladd quickly made a name for himself in various promotions, including the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and numerous regional territories. With his athletic ability, commanding presence, and fierce rivalries, including iconic feuds with wrestling legends like Bruno Sammartino and Dusty Rhodes, Ladd became one of the industry's most influential figures. Beyond his in-ring success, he was a staunch advocate for African-American wrestlers, breaking racial barriers and championing equality in a segregated industry. Ladd captured multiple championships throughout his career, leaving a lasting impact on the wrestling world. After retiring from the ring, he continued to influence the sport as a promoter and commentator. Sadly, Ladd, after battling colon cancer, his marked the end of an era, but his legacy lives on. Ladd's contributions to both football and wrestling continue to inspire generations of athletes, and his role as a trailblazer for African-American wrestlers remains a defining aspect of his remarkable career. Tom Billington, known in the wrestling world as Dynamite Kid, was born on December 5, 1958, in Wigan, England. He became one of the most influential professional wrestlers of his generation, renowned for his unmatched athleticism, technical ability, and high-flying style. His career, which began in the late 1970s, saw him leave a lasting impact on the wrestling world, particularly in the 1980s, when he became a key figure in both the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and All Japan Pro Wrestling, AJW. Dynamite Kid is best remembered for his partnership with Davey Boy Smith as the British Bulldogs, one of the most iconic tag teams in wrestling history. The duo's fast-paced, hard-hitting matches showcased their athleticism and introduced a new level of intensity to the tag team division. Their innovative moves and chemistry in the ring made them fan favorites and elevated the standards of wrestling in the WWF at the time. Known for his relentless work ethic, Dynamite Kid was willing to push the limits of his body, often enduring grueling and dangerous matches. His technical prowess and no-holds-barred style of wrestling set him apart from his peers. However, his aggressive in-ring approach took a toll on his health, and by the early 1990s, he was forced to retire due to serious injuries, including spinal issues and knee damage. In his later years, Billington struggled with various health complications, many of which were the result of his physically demanding career. His health continued to decline, and the cause of was heart failure, a condition that was exacerbated by his years of physical strain, as well as his struggles with diabetes and other health issues. Despite his relatively short career, Dynamite Kid's legacy remains as one of the most influential pioneers in the wrestling industry. Paul Butcher Vachon, born on October 7, 1937 in Montreal, Quebec, was a towering figure in the world of professional wrestling, renowned for his incredible toughness, commanding charisma and invaluable contributions to the sport. He was a proud member of the legendary Vachon wrestling family, a dynasty whose name would become synonymous with strength, resilience, and the raw intensity of classic wrestling. Paul's influence extended far beyond his own wrestling career, cementing the Vachon family's place in wrestling history as pioneers and trailblazers. Vachon's journey in professional wrestling began in the 1950s, and it didn't take long for him to establish a reputation for his menacing persona, the Butcher. His aggressive, hard-hitting style made him a feared competitor. Often teaming with his brother Maurice Mad Dog Vachon, Paul formed one of the most dominant tag teams in the history of the sport. The brothers' savage approach to wrestling terrorized opponents across various promotions, including the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, where they captured numerous tag team championships. Together, they became a force to be reckoned with, regularly headlining events and building a legacy of destruction. While much of his career was spent as part of a tag team, Paul also enjoyed significant success as a singles wrestler. His ruthless nature, combined with an imposing physical presence, earned him the respect and admiration of fans who appreciated his no-nonsense, brutal approach to the sport. Beyond the ring, Paul remained a beloved figure in the wrestling community, contributing through speaking engagements and his memoirs, which painted vivid pictures of the golden age of professional wrestling. Sadly, Paul Vachon, his was attributed to complications related to Alzheimer's disease, a tragic ending to a life that had long been intertwined with the heart and soul of professional wrestling. Despite his passing, the legacy of Paul Vachon and the Vachon family lives on, forever etched into the annals of wrestling history. Ole Anderson, born Alan Robert Rogowski on September 22, 1942, was a pivotal figure in professional wrestling, renowned for both his in-ring prowess and his significant contributions as a booker. He is best remembered as a founding member of the Four Horsemen, a faction that redefined professional wrestling in the 1980s. Known for his tough, no-nonsense style, Anderson's influence shaped wrestling for many years, both inside and outside the ring. Anderson's wrestling journey began in the 1960s, where he quickly earned a reputation as a fierce heel wrestler. He formed the Minnesota Wrecking Crew alongside his kayfabe brother Gene Anderson. The duo dominated the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, tag team division, capturing multiple championships and becoming one of the most respected tag teams of their time. Their ruthless tactics and cohesion in the ring set a standard for excellence. However, it was in the 1980s that Anderson's legacy truly solidified when he co-founded the Four Horsemen with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. The group became synonymous with dominance and excellence, ushering in a new era for factions in professional wrestling. Beyond his wrestling career, Ole Anderson was a respected booker and promoter. His work in Georgia Championship Wrestling and later with Jim Crockett Promotions played a crucial role in the success of both territories. Anderson's creative vision helped elevate wrestling storylines and develop talent, ensuring his influence extended far beyond his wrestling career. Ole Anderson, following a battle with heart disease. Despite his passing, Anderson's legacy remains a cornerstone of wrestling history. His contributions, both as a wrestler and behind the scenes, continue to be celebrated by fans and historians alike. Alan Coge, born on October the 22nd, 1943, in the vibrant streets of New York City, was a professional wrestler and mixed martial artist who left an indelible mark on the wrestling world. Best known by his ring name, Bad News Allen, Coge earned a reputation for his hard-edged persona and unrelenting in-ring abilities, which made him a formidable force in the world of professional wrestling. His character embodied the very essence of toughness, blending his martial arts background with a no-nonsense attitude that captivated audiences. Coach's wrestling journey began in the early 1970s, where he initially honed his craft in regional promotions before his big break in the 1980s with the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. It was during this time that he became widely known for his brash, outspoken persona. As Bad News Allen, he engaged in a series of intense and often heated rivalries with some of the biggest stars in the industry, including memorable feuds with figures like Bret Hart. His character wasn't just a villain, but a character who invoked genuine animosity from fans, a rarity in wrestling at the time. Beyond the squared circle, Coach was an accomplished judoka, competing at the highest level of the sport. His skills in judo took him all the way to the 1976 Olympics, where he represented Canada with pride. His martial arts foundation deeply influenced his wrestling style, incorporating devastating grappling techniques and brutal strikes that left a lasting impact on his opponents. Tragically, Alan Coach, after suffering from complications related to a heart attack, has marked the end of an era for many wrestling fans, but his legacy remains. Coach's contributions to professional wrestling, along with his athleticism and memorable character, have earned him a place in the history books as one of wrestling's most iconic figures. In the world of professional wrestling, few names resonate as profoundly as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Known for his rebellious nature, explosive charisma, and defining role in WWE's Attitude Era, Austin's journey from a small-town Texan upbringing to the pinnacle of wrestling fame is nothing short of legendary. Yet, behind the thunderous cheers and iconic moments, there lies a story of resilience and health struggles that have significantly impacted his career and life. This exploration delves into Austin's personal battles with injury, his career-defining moments, and the incredible legacy he continues to build beyond the squared circle. Early life and wrestling beginnings. Born Stephen James Anderson on December 18, 1964 in Austin, Texas, Steve Austin spent much of his childhood in Edna, Texas. Raised by his mother and stepfather, Ken Williams, Austin's early years were marked by an intense passion for sports. His competitive spirit was evident early on, fueling his desire to excel in whatever athletic endeavor he pursued. After high school, Austin received a football scholarship to Wharton County Junior College, later transferring to the University of North Texas to continue his football career. While his athletic future appeared bright, Austin was already developing a strong pull toward professional wrestling. In 1989, Austin took a bold step toward realizing his wrestling dreams by enrolling in Chris Adams's wrestling school in Dallas. After a year of rigorous training, Austin debuted in 1990 with World Class Championship Wrestling, WCCW. Initially, he struggled to find a foothold in the business, but it was clear from the start that his raw talent and commitment would set him apart in the industry. Over time, Austin honed his skills and began to develop the tenacity that would later become his trademark, setting the stage for his rise to prominence. The rise to fame? Stunning. Steve Austin and the Hollywood Blondes. In 1991, Austin signed with World Championship Wrestling, WCW, under the persona of Stunning Steve Austin. At first, he played a flashy, arrogant character, embodying the quintessential heel, a villain who was both cocky and capable in the ring. Alongside Brian Pillman, Austin formed the tag team known as the Hollywood Blondes. The duo's chemistry in the ring was undeniable, and together they captured the WCW World Tag Team Championship. However, despite their success, WCW failed to recognize Austin's full potential, and after an arm injury in 1995, he was released from the company. This decision would prove to be one of the most significant mistakes in WCW's history, as Austin's departure would set the stage for his rise in WWE. The birth of Stone Cold Steve Austin. After his release from WCW, Austin made his way to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, in late 1995. Initially introduced as the Ringmaster, a character who was bland and lacked real connection with fans, Austin struggled to make a significant impact. However, it wasn't long before he reinvented himself into the character that would define his career, Stone Cold Steve Austin. In 1996, Austin embraced his rebellious anti-authority persona, and his sharp wit and brutal in-ring style quickly made him a fan favorite. Austin's breakout moment came during the 1996 King of the Ring tournament. After defeating Jake the Snake Roberts, Austin famously delivered the now iconic Austin 3:16 speech, a proclamation that would change the wrestling landscape forever. The phrase, born out of a promo that mocked Roberts' religious convictions, quickly became a rallying cry for fans and marked the birth of the Stone Cold persona in full force. As the years went on, Austin's popularity exploded. His disdain for authority, especially his ongoing feud with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, struck a chord with fans. Austin became the face of the Attitude Era, a period that revolutionized wrestling with its edgier, more adult-oriented content. With his catchphrases such as, "And that's the bottom line, what?" and his trademark beer-drinking antics, Austin quickly cemented his place as one of WWE's biggest stars. Give me Spaceship Glory and iconic feuds. By 1998, Austin reached the pinnacle of WWE success when he won his first WWE Championship by defeating Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. This victory not only solidified his status as WWE's top star, but also marked the beginning of an unforgettable run at the top of the industry. Over the course of his career, Austin would go on to win 6 WWE championships and multiple other titles, becoming one of the most decorated wrestlers in the company's history. One of the defining aspects of Austin's career was his intense rivalries with other wrestling legends. His long-standing feud with Vince McMahon became the focal point of the Attitude Era, with McMahon serving as the ultimate foil to Austin's rebellious nature. Their battles, both in and out of the ring, were among the most memorable in wrestling history. Austin's ability to defy authority, take risks, and capture the public's imagination made him a true cultural icon, with his influence extending far beyond the wrestling world. Austin's rivalries with other wrestlers, including The Rock, Triple H, and The Undertaker, further cemented his place in the annals of wrestling history. The chemistry between Austin and The Rock, in particular, was undeniable, with their bouts at WrestleMania becoming some of the greatest matches in WWE history. These feuds and moments created an unparalleled legacy that continues to inspire wrestlers to this day. The toll of injuries. Austin's health struggles. While Steve Austin's career was filled with triumphs, it was also plagued by physical tolls. Wrestling is an incredibly demanding profession, and Austin's body bore the brunt of the constant physicality. The most significant injury in Austin's career occurred in 1997 during a match with Owen Hart. In what would become one of the most infamous moments in wrestling history, Austin suffered a devastating neck injury after being dropped on his head during a botched piledriver. The injury left him temporarily paralyzed, and it was feared that his career, and possibly his life, could be over. Despite the severity of the injury, Austin's determination and resilience shone through. After undergoing extensive rehabilitation, he made an improbable return to the ring. However, the damage had been done, and the lingering effects of the neck injury would continue to haunt Austin throughout the rest of his career. he began to experience chronic pain and limited mobility, which was exacerbated by the wear and tear from years of hard-hitting matches. As the years went on, Austin's physical condition worsened. By the early 2000s, the constant strain on his neck and spine became too much to bear. After a grueling match against The Rock at WrestleMania 99 in 2003, Austin made the difficult decision to retire from professional wrestling. While the news was devastating to fans who had come to rely on Austin as the face of WWE, the decision was a necessary one. Austin's health had to take precedence over his desire to continue competing. After wrestling, health challenges, and a new chapter. Following his retirement, Austin remained active in WWE, making occasional appearances as a referee, host, and part of various storylines. However, his days as a full-time wrestler were behind him. In the years following his retirement, Austin underwent multiple surgeries, including neck and knee procedures, in an attempt to alleviate the pain caused by his injuries. He became an advocate for self-care and openly discussed the physical toll that wrestling had taken on his body, encouraging younger wrestlers to take better care of themselves. Despite his health challenges, Austin remained a respected figure in the wrestling world. His passion for the business never wavered, and he continued to contribute to the industry in different ways. He launched The Steve Austin Show, a podcast where he interviewed wrestlers, shared stories from his career, and discussed the inner workings of WWE. The show became hugely popular and allowed fans to connect with Austin in a more personal way. Austin also ventured into other media, making guest appearances in movies, television shows, and even launching his own line of beers. Stone Cold, Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA, which became a hit with fans. Despite facing ongoing health struggles, Austin's ability to reinvent himself and stay relevant in the public eye showcased his resilience and determination to stay active and engaged in the world he helped shape. Addressing the rumors, Austin's health today. As one of the most iconic figures in wrestling, rumors about Austin's health have persisted over the years. Some reports have suggested that his injuries were far worse than he has let on, while others speculated about his physical condition. However, Austin has consistently reassured fans that he is in good spirits and is managing his health as best as possible. He has acknowledged the ongoing challenges he faces due to his past injuries, but he continues to maintain an active lifestyle and has shared that he is receiving appropriate medical care. Austin's candidness about his health struggles has endeared him even further to his fans, as they recognize the toll that his dedication to his craft took on him. While his wrestling days may be behind him, Austin remains a symbol of resilience, perseverance, and the undying spirit of a true champion. Conclusion: a legacy that will never fade. Steve Austin's career was defined by moments of defiance, rebellion, and pure charisma. His transformation from a talented wrestler into a cultural icon during the Attitude Era made him a household name and cemented his place in the annals of wrestling history. His rivalries, his catchphrases, and his raw energy helped shape the landscape of WWE and revolutionized the way professional wrestling was perceived. But beyond the accolades, titles, and legendary moments, it is Austin's health struggles and his ability to overcome them that truly define his legacy. Despite the devastating injuries and chronic pain that plagued his career, Austin's resilience has inspired countless individuals, both inside and outside the wrestling world. His journey is a testament to the sacrifices athletes make in the pursuit of greatness, and it serves as a reminder of the importance of self-care and prioritizing one's well-being. Stone Cold. Steve Austin may no longer step into the ring as a competitor, but his legacy lives on through his influence on the wrestling industry, his impact on pop culture, and his ongoing efforts to remain a beloved figure in the world of sports entertainment. Austin's story is one of triumph, adversity, and ultimately endurance. And that's the bottom line.